Hi colleagues, this is Ruby Blow of Development Counts, and I just wanted to share some information about the continuing education requirements for people who have the Certified Professional Counselor Supervisor designation, which of course is governed by the Licensed Professional Counselors Association of Georgia. Their website is lpcaga.org. If you want to go check out this information for yourself, I'm going to be looking a little bit at that website. So if you are on the lpcaga.org website, you will see some headings across the top. One of them says supervision. If you hover above that, there's two tabs that you should pay attention to. Well, all of them, but that I want to bring your attention to right now. One is the unrecognized CE providers for CPCS, and the other one is CE requirements for CPCS, because there have been some updates. So I want to talk about those. First, I'm going to talk about the CE requirement updates. So basically, this is something that I'm aware of that folks may not know. If you are selecting a supervision workshop to attend, you want to make sure, or for that matter, if you are offering a supervision related workshop, you want to make sure that the word supervision is in the title of the workshop. And also, it needs to be about clinical supervision. It can't be about employee supervision or addiction supervision or AAMFT supervision, which I think is an important distinction. I know I've had a number of people attend my trainings who are going for the addiction supervisor certification. So I know that the hours have counted to help people get that certification, but I guess in terms of the content area that the facilitator is focusing on, LPCA-GA is saying, no, we want to make sure it's focused on clinical supervision for, I guess, general counseling. So, and then also the same thing, it can't be a focus on AAMFT supervision. The other thing to be aware of is that if you are attending a single event, it cannot exceed 20 hours. So my workshops tend to be 6 hours or 3 hours. If you're doing an online event that's not broken up, meaning the whole event is 20 hours, then that could present a problem. So make sure that you're doing single events as opposed to an event that would be more than 20 hours in a single setting. Okay, so remember, all ethics hours have to be in person. They cannot be done electronically. The ethics hours must be about ethics and supervision. If you are initially getting on the CPCS registry, you have to have 6 hours of supervision ethics. If you are renewing your CPCS, you have to have 3 hours of supervision ethics, okay? And that has to be done in person. Only 1/3 of your continuing education hours can be done electronically online via webinar. For new applicants, if you are doing option A to get on the CPCS, then you have to have 8. You can only have 8 CEs online. So that's out of that initial 24. So 1/3 of your CEs can be online. If it's a new application, that means 8 hours. If it's a renewal application, that means only 4 hours under option A. Option A involves getting 24 CEs. Option B involves getting 12 CEs for initially getting on the registry, but it means that you're counting some graduate coursework. Your graduate coursework in clinical supervision is only eligible if you got it less than 10 years ago. So I had a few folks at my training on Friday who, I guess they had graduate coursework in supervision, but it was longer than 10 years ago. Okay, so that's a change. That represents an update. So if you are doing option B for getting on the registry for the first time, then you cannot have more than 2 of your, no more than 4 of your renewal hours online. Okay, if you're getting on the registry for the first time and you're going to have 12 continuing ed hours plus some clinical supervision graduate coursework, then you can't have more than 4 of those hours that you obtain be online. If you are doing a renewal and you're doing option B for renewal, like for me, I'm renewing my CPCS and I'll be doing option B for renewal because I offer continuing education and supervision. That means that I can't get more than 2 of my CE hours online. So if you're a supervision presenter, there aren't a lot of us. If you have questions about that, you can contact me through my website, developmentcounts.com. And I know most of you, so you can just email me or call me or text me, okay, if that applies to you. All right, and I think that covers a lot of the basics. A few things that I also wanted to mention is if you are getting on the CPCS registry for the first time, you need to have a minimum of 6 hours of legal and ethical issues in supervision, 6 hours of what's considered foundations in supervision, and then 6 hours of methods in supervision. So think of foundations as things like the supervisory relationship or supervision theory, and think of methods as things like evaluation or structure of supervision, okay? And then if you are, let's see, doing your renewal, a few tips and reminders about renewal: at least 3 of your hours need to be legal ethics. And again, those have to be in person. And then if you are like me and you are a presenter, you have to submit proof. You have to sign an affidavit, and they have that as part of the application now. So those were a few things that I wanted to mention. I know this is lengthy, but for those of you who are interested, then hopefully this will help save you some time. I want to switch to this topic about unrecognized CE providers for the CPCS. You can find that on the lpcaga.org website. Scroll across the top to the tab that says supervision. Go down to the one that says unrecognized CE providers for CPCS. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Looks like there's 11 providers listed, including some big names like PESI, PESI, as well as cross-country education. Those are going to be okayed by the LPCA through September 30th, so you need to contact them to get support with that. Another one on here that I think is notable is the Zur Institute. It's an online learning platform that a lot of folks use, so pay attention to that. And then the continuingedcourses.net is another one that I think a lot of people are using. And I haven't heard of Circle of Recovery, but Circle of Recovery is listed on here. So you want to go take a look at that listing. What that means is if you have gotten supervision-related continuing education hours for the purpose of getting on the registry or renewing, then you will have difficulty with getting your CPCS in the timely manner that you're expecting, or getting that renewal, because it's not going to, the LPCA is not recognizing those providers. And there are different reasons why they may not be recognizing those providers. And it seems to be that one of the reasons is if they are not if they have not been approved by LPCA GA for their continuing ed, or if they have not been approved by MBCC, or if they've lost their MBCC approved continuing education provider number, or if it's viewed that the facilitator or presenter of that event does not have the expertise or credentialing necessary to be presenting on that topic. That's the best that my understanding of what I am seeing and reading. Okay, so there is a method to the madness. Make sure that you're going to take a look at this lpcaga.org update, and hopefully you have found this useful. I am a licensed professional counselor and a certified professional counselor supervisor and an approved continuing education provider through MBCC, as well as a distance certified counselor. And I do a lot of continuing ed for my colleagues here in the state of Georgia. Pretty soon, I hope to offer some online. Of course, that's a lot of content creation and tech work to get done. So when that's available, I'll be sending an announcement out on my weekly e-blast. So if you are not a member of my list, you may want to go sign up at developmentcounts.com, and you'll get a blog post from me each week. There'll be updates on things in the field, personal and professional development topics that I discuss. And if you're on the e-blast, then sometimes you'll get videos like this, and usually they won't be as long as this one. Okay, so I hope you found this useful. And you can check me out at developmentcounts.com and see when I'm offering a continuing education event near you. Take care. Bye-bye.